Hi, I'm Yvonne Murphy and I run Oh My Days Productions. One of the main reasons that I'm doing this work is I often felt quite stupid growing up, that I didn't understand stuff about our democracy, and I thought that I was the only one, and it turned out that actually I was in the majority. So one of the young co-creators in the early stage of the research was quite obsessed with trying to work out how other people knew about this stuff when she didn't. And she interviewed a lot of elected representatives and she asked them, how did you know about our democracy and how it works? And every single one of them said they learnt about it around the dinner table. And I was like, okay, that is what the talking shop is about. It's about recreating that dining room for everybody. So I set up a pilot talking shop in 2019. So I wanted to research and develop Oh My Days' next theatre show. So I put playwrights in the space. And I also wanted to research and develop the concept of the talking shop itself. So this idea of somewhere that you could go and find out anything that's on, but also how that could connect with a space that you could find out anything about our democracy. So right at the beginning of the pandemic, I got a small grant from Cluster to research this, whether there was, some way that we could create or curate this differently. And out of that came the Democracy Box. So the Democracy Box is, I created a prototype basically of that public information campaign, and I created a story of our UK democracy that is just the basics, and then the Electoral Commission looked at it and they gave the final approval and made sure it was absolutely factually correct. And that is the piece of work that all the young co-creators in the Democracy Box now use to retell that story. But what came out of that research was young people saying, actually we want to do stuff face to face. And I was like, I've already done that prototype, and that's the talking shop.
Health of a nation, act on our shoulders, new generations, well-being soldiers, kick down doors and we...
So the pilot that was over in Duke Street Arcade, I came along to that a couple of times and just thought, just such a great thing to have a space where people are free to come in, have a chat, have a cup of tea and just chew over some of the big questions that we all have. So when I heard that the talking shop was happening again, I just thought, yes, I want to be part of helping make that happen.
I got involved with the talking shop because I was looking for an opportunity to connect my art practice and my therapeutic practice. Intrigued about the possibility of earning money by talking to people and just meeting strangers, which I'm all about, and sharing an experience, possibly creative, with a therapeutic effect by that, to just benefit everyone and break down the barriers about talking to strangers and sharing creativity and how actually art connects us deeply.
So the Riverfront were really interested right from the beginning in the pilot, and they were really supportive. And it was also really important to see how a secondary city was different to Cardiff.
The people that come in are just looking for a place to be themselves, to not be judged and to feel safe.
For me, it's been a really part of my really long but quick journey of kind of self-exploration. And me then to me now, I find I'm dealing with things a lot calmer. And this, this place is part of that. The key thing with this is no one feels that they're judged. All of my friends have been able to let out their creativity, and you've got amazing sofas. So.
It's a democratic space, so it's providing a space for people to come together and talk. It's democratising a communal space in a really kind of, a fundamental way. And I think all the different hosts bring something to that in terms of how that is then held as a space.
Lots of people ask, what can we do inside the shop? So there's 2 television screens which have got all the Democracy Box content that some of the young co-creators have made. So you can just sit and watch that. There's a little mini speaker upstairs. You can hear a bit of the podcast. The posters that go all the way up the walls have got the story of our UK democracy on. If you go around the talking shop, you'll see there's quite big questions like, what does culture and the arts mean to you? And what would you like to change about Wales? So there's all different ways that you can share those thoughts.
The talking shop for me has been somewhere I have discovered that has allowed me to listen to other people's perspectives, and also a safe enough space in which I was able to share my own. know, how many of us just want basically to be heard, and through that get a sense of validation and a sense that we exist. So it's more, probably a more powerful place, and they probably realise, you know.
The dream is that this one in Cardiff stays open for a year, but what I really want is that it's here for enough time for us to really work out how the model works, and then at the same time trial secondary ones in different parts of Wales, and then we can blueprint the model as a model for a conversation with the nation, to maybe look at the future of our constitution in Wales, but also look at how we engage citizens in conversation about our democracy. So that's what I really want to do, is create that blueprint. The main thing about the talking shop and the main cost of the talking shop are the freelance hosts. I've always thought it was really important, obviously, to give work to our creative freelance workforce. Post-pandemic, that's more important than ever. And actually, it's really important, I think, to have creatives in organisations to help organisations think differently.
You know, it's days like today that I can really experience the value and the benefit and the gravitas, the potential gravitas of it, in fact. And it is a potential. You know, it could be revolutionary, you know.
Changing the nation.